This is the Drift Innovation movie camera, or action camera. It comes with a lot of different accessories in the kit, like this remote control, this mount for attaching it to other things, such as this elastic strap, which you could wear like kind of like a goggle strap, or you could attach this to your goggles, the strap on your goggles. Another mount which attaches to the strap. A handlebar mount, which is perfect for mountain biking. And you can see how this goes in here like that, locks in place, and the camera would be screwed into it, so you can mount it on your mountain bike's handlebars. But for four-wheeling, what we ended up doing was buying this optional suction cup mount. It works really well, and for off-roading, I think this would be the most useful type of mounting accessory. And like I said, it is something we bought extra. It does not come with the kit, but it's highly recommended. So I'm just gonna give you a brief overview of how to set up the Drift and a look at some of its features. The number one thing to know about this camera is that when it's in that mode, like when it's laying down flat like that, if you record the scene, it will be shot sideways, because the top of the lens, or the top of the movie frame, is indicated by this raised mark around the lens bezel. Okay, so when it's on its side, you can see that that mark is on the side, so your movie will be shot sideways. So if you're going to mount the camera like this, for instance, if you've got this attached to your windshield, the camera screws on there, then you're going to end up with a sideways movie. What you want to do is turn this until that mark is facing directly. So the Drift is powered by 2 AA batteries, and it writes to an SD card. So the batteries go in there. Alkalines don't last too long in this, so I strongly recommend using some good nickel metal hydride rechargeables or some lithium batteries. Okay, so the batteries are in, and we'll install an SD card. In the back, you can also see that there's an audio-visual output jack and a USB connector. The camera does come with video output connectors that you plug into there, and if you plug into the USB, besides being able to transfer your images and movies, it will also power the camera. So if you have this mounted in your vehicle, you can keep it hooked up to a USB cable, which in turn would be hooked up to a 12-volt USB adapter. So you don't even have to worry about the batteries. You can just power it off of your vehicle's 12-volt power. Okay, so with that closed, it's all sealed up now, and the Drift is very water and dust resistant. We found it to be a very rugged little unit. So to turn it on, we press this button here and hold it. So we've got the battery indicator, the mode indicator, and the remaining space on the card indicator. I've got it set to time out quite quickly so that it shuts LCD off. It's just as a battery saving measure. So we'll press menu, and I'll show you how to adjust the settings. So we go down to this little. So for video options, The frame ratio, aspect ratio of 4:3 is fine. Frame rate of 30 is fine. Depending on the scene, you may or may not want to set the exposure. And for the file type, we're using MJPEG. Now you could use MP4, which is a more efficient file format, but the problem is not a lot of video editing suites will actually read it directly. I tried this with an older version of iMovie 9. I tried it with Windows Movie Maker, and I tried it with Sony Vegas Video, and none of them would read the MP4 format. MJPEG worked fine with Sony Vegas Video, and the only downside is that MJPEG creates a much larger file size compared to MP4. The other thing we have here is resetting the camera settings and looking at the firmware version. When we click on this item, this allows us to do playback of videos, which I don't have any, so you don't see anything. And then the next item lets us do a playback of photos, which again I don't have any. Okay, so we're in video mode right now. So I'm going to just close the menu, and you can see that there you can't see a live image of what the camera is looking at, which is a just absolutely awesome feature of this device. We do have some GoPro cameras, and they're great cameras, but without being able to see what you're framing, it really does limit their effectiveness. It basically makes them harder to use, because if the framing of a shot is important, then you pretty much have to shoot and then take the camera out of the case, take the SD card out, put it in your laptop, and view the movie clip to make sure that the framing is good, and then put everything back. With this, you can check it real time, and that's just a great feature. So as you can see here, what you're looking at is a sideways image. Okay, so I'll turn the camera so that the top indicator is pointing up, and now what we have is a right side up image. Okay, and then to set it recording, you can just press this button here, and it starts recording. You can see a little red light there. And the other thing you can do as well is to use the remote control. So I just turned it off, turned it on, turned it off. Okay, to see what we've shot, just press menu, and there's a number 2 there that shows that we've got 2 video clips. So we go there, and we can look at the different videos we've just shot, and then press this to play it. So the playback is nice to have too. All in all, this is a great little camera. It's extremely easy to use. The fact that it uses AA batteries makes it very easy to it's basically easy to travel with. You know, you don't have to worry about having the batteries charged up. You can pick up lithium AA's, or in a pinch you can pick up a whole bunch of alkalines, or just use nickel metal hydride AA's. I mean, I pretty much standardized on AA batteries for a lot of my stuff, like my FRS radios, my VHF radio, my GPS, my flashlights. So being able to feed this AA batteries is extremely convenient for me. So that's the end of our video tour of the Drift X170. It's a great camera, it's a great price, and we definitely recommend it for four-wheelers who want to capture their adventures.